Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Big Matt. I've been away for a couple of weeks. Haven't posted any videos in a while, but getting back into the swing of things this week. And today we're going to be looking at an Otari MX5050. It's a Mark III -8 reel to reel. Okay, so apparently the time that I spent away did nothing to improve my camera skills. Everything except this small portion of this video is going to be flipped in reverse. So any movement you see on the Otari MX5050 is going to be backwards of what it actually is. So if you see it spinning one way, in real life it spins the other way. Again, I was using my cell phone to take this video, and I didn't move the little switch where you're supposed to flip the viewing back to regular or whatever. So you'll notice it right away. And again, I apologize for that. I'll try to get it right next time. Okay, so we're going to go over all the controls and indicators. We'll start with this unit. These are the VU meters for all 8 channels and the input level controls. These are the SRL switches. They're called standard reference level, meaning that you can adjust the input to where when you have a measured input coming into the machine to calibrate it, you'll set it for 0 dB or plus 3 dB or minus 3 dB or whatever. But that's going to be your standard input. And when you press this button in, it's going to bring the input up to that level so it'll stay consistent. When you move this lever out, then you can adjust the inputs up or down this way. But for most recordings, you can just leave it on the standard reference level. This is your supply and take up reel. This is your head block. It's the 3-head unit. That's the erase head, record, and the playback head. Your tension arm. This is your cueing lever. When you're fast forwarding and you want to hear what's on the tape at a fast speed, so you can know when you're at the end of the song, just press this lever down. You have your memory, digital counter, and the reset button for the counter. Power switch. This is your speed switch. This unit can play at either 3 3/4 and 7.5 or 7.5 and 15 inches per second, controlled by this switch here. There's an internal switch at the rear of the machine that will convert it from 3 3/4 and 7.5 to 7.5 and 15 inches per second, respectively. This is for large and small reels. This is your edit button. If you're playing a tape and you want to cut part of the tape out, when you press the edit button and press play, the capstan will engage with the pinch roller. The tape will spill out, but the tape won't be taken up by the take-up reel. It'll spill out until it reaches a point where you want to cut off that piece of tape. Press stop, and when you press stop, that disengages the edit button. These controls are simple to use as a cassette deck. You have to record, play, stop, rewind, and fast forward. Pinch roller, capstan. This is a little tape guide, and the tension roller. Moving down below, this is a built-in test generator. Test tone oscillator. You have a 1 kilohertz tone that can be sent to the machine, and also a 10,000 hertz tone that can also be sent to the machine. This button is used when you want to use external control to control the inputs and outputs of the unit, what you want to monitor from the unit. The all input means that you're going to be monitoring the input on all 8 channels. And all select repro is it's going to be that the SRL, the standard reference level, on the output for all 8 channels when you're in playback, or you can put it in all repro, and it's going to play back all the channels, and you'll be able to it'll play whatever level is recorded onto that channel. And lastly is the individual. That means you can change them from input to select repro, or to input repro. This is in this position you can control each channel individually. If you select any of the other ones, all the units are going to be in the position that coordinates with the switch that you selected. Okay, and this is your record. These are your record ready or safe position switches. When they're all down, that means they're in the safe position. The unit's not going to go into record. If you lift one of them up, the record button the record indicator will flash. When you press record and play, you'll be recording on channel 1. If you move a few of them up, it's going to be recording on channels 1 through 4, and so on. Okay, these are your headphone monitoring selector switches. You can monitor one or up to all 8 channels at a time. This is the output to your headphones, and this is the level that you're going to be sending out to the headphones. Okay, moving around to the rear of the machine. One of the things that really stands out about the Otari units is their access to bias and level controls on the unit. You don't have to remove any panels to get to those adjustments. For this -8, all the adjustments on the rear of the machine, just get a small screwdriver and you're able to align any of the channels that you like. If you want to increase the bias on a certain channel, very simple to do from here. But you have your peak level adjustments for your meters, your output levels. You can have them on low or high by just flipping a switch. Repro levels, that's the playback levels. You can adjust the EQ, and this is that select that standard reference level adjustments, record level adjustments, and EQ. Just all the adjustments that would normally be beneath the lower panel on most machines that you'd have to take a piece of the deck apart to get to. All those adjustments are readily available here on the rear of the Otari. Next thing we're going to do is check out the record function on the unit. We're going to use the built-in oscillator to do that. We're going to check channels 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and lastly 7 and 8. We're going to monitor that test tone as it's being recorded through the headphone jacks. I have the headphone jacks connected to a Bluetooth transmitter. That transmitter is sending the signal over to the Pioneer system you see in the rear. And so when I go into, when I put the 1000 hertz tone in the on position, we can hear tracks 1 and 2 and see the meters. They're at 0 dB right now. And so next thing we're going to do is start recording that signal onto tracks 1 and 2. First we need to put tracks 1 and 2 into record mode or ready mode. We'll see the record light flash and also the ready lights flash on channels 1 and 2. And we have 1 and 2 selected at the headphone jacks. So we're going to begin recording. And that's what's going on to the tape. And when we press repro, we're going to hear the actual recording itself. Okay, and we can see that the VU meters stay at 0 dB. If we wanted to drop that signal down a little bit, we would press the SRL button, And you see the VU meters go down a little bit. If we wanted to bring them back up manually, we would turn the input knobs up slightly. And if we wanted to reach right at 0 dB, we would just press. You can move them up with the input knobs, but just press the SRL and it'll bring it back up to 0 dB. Okay, that's channels 1 and 2. Now we're going to switch it over to tracks 3 and 4. Turn off 1 and 2. And that was a previous recording on channels 1 and 2. Now we're going to go over to 3 and 4 and begin recording there. Okay, and I've got to select 3 and 4. And we'll see the VU meters stay at 0 dB. Okay, and the reason we can hear I accidentally hit the stop switch, but the reason we can still hear the tone, even though we're in the repro mode, is because if we've got tracks 3 and 4 in the ready mode, it automatically moves the signal to the input section. Once we go into record, it'll move back down to the repro selection. We hear what's actually playing on the tape. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll put it into all inputs. And so we're monitoring what's going on to channels or tracks 3 and 4. Make sure it's tracks 3 and 4 are selected. Now we're going to go into repro, and we'll hear what's actually going on to the tape. Again, 3 and 4 are the only ones we're concerned with now, because those are the only ones that are being recorded. All this other movement on the VU meters is what's already recorded onto the tape. Okay, and the SRL will move the signal up and down on either channel. Okay, and then we're going to move over to channels 5 and 6. Okay, I'm going to go into record mode. And that's what's going on to the tape. I have to deselect 3 and 4 and select 5 and 6 on the headphones. And we're monitoring tracks 5 and 6, and they're both at 0 dB. Next, we're going to go into tracks 7 and 8. Seven and 8, and we'll select 7 and 8 on the headphones. And you can see we're at 0 dB. We want to have the signal drop down some. Just press SRL. If you want to go back up to 0 dB, you can either turn the knob or press the button. It'll go back up to 0 dB. Next, we're going to begin recording from a Revox reel-to-reel onto the Otari. We'll start with channels 1 and 2. Right now we're monitoring those two channels. Again, this is channel 1 and 2. We're listening to the input. I'm going to put the unit into the record mode. And right now we're recording on channels 1 and 2. That's what's going on to the tape. And that's the actual repro. Again, that's on channels 1 and 2. I'm just skip it over 2 channels at a time so we can just make sure that all 8 channels are recording. And we're going to adjust the inputs manually. Okay, that's channel 1 and 2. I'm going to move it over to channels 3 and 4.
Put it into record mode. Okay, that's what's going, well, that's the actual recording. This is what's going on to the tape. Then this is the actual recording. Again, it's on channels 3 and 4. Now we're going to go over to channels 5 and 6. Put it in record mode. That's what's going on to the tape. And that's the actual recording on channels 5 and 6. Now we'll go to channels 7 and 8. That's what's going on with the tape. We were listening to channels 5 and 6 also. So right now this is channels 7 and 8. That's the input. And that's the actual recording. Again, before I had channels 5 and 6 monitoring also, and that's what was previously recorded on channels 5 and 6. I'm going to go back and listen to those those 4 recordings on those 2 channels at a time, starting with tracks 1 and 2. Again, we've already listened to them as they've been recording. Now just rewound the tape back to the starting point. And we're going to listen to all 8 channels in sequence. Starting off with channels 1 and 2. Move over to 3 and 4. Now channels 5 and 6. Now we're listening to channel 7 and 8. Go through the fast forward and rewind function. I'm going to fast forward.
Again, this is the Atari MX5050 Mark III-8 reel-to-reel.